Right, and governors were up in arms just days after the Controller of Budget, Margaret Nyakango, issued a controversial directive to all 47 counties, instructing them to halt the allocation of bursaries for students. The directive stated that financial assistance for education falls under the national government and must be transferred in accordance with Article 187 of the Constitution. This tussle paints a picture of a disjointed system in facilitating education across the country. Our very own Emmanuel Kutosi has more on this story.
Education plays a crucial role in Kenyan society. In the rejected Finance Bill 2024-2025, education was allocated 660 billion shillings, nearly 30% of the 3.92 trillion shilling budget. Despite this significant allocation, education funding has been further bolstered by contributions from the National Government Constituency Development Fund (NGCDF) and the National Government Affirmative Action Fund (NGAF), which have supported classroom construction and bursary distribution.
Kenya's education reform is ongoing. When this administration took over, the CBC, which includes ECD and pre-primary education, was being rolled out. There were some imperfections which we are working on to make sure the CBC program is perfect. And secondly, we are looking at the funding of higher education.
However, tensions flared recently when governors criticized the circular dated January 14th, issued by the Controller of Budget, Margaret Nyakango. In the circular, Nyakango noted that any requisition for funds to perform functions under the national government, such as the issuance of bursaries, must be accompanied by an intergovernmental agreement. The county boss is accused of threatening to derail education of thousands of needy students who rely on county bursaries.
I want to call upon Control of Budget. Please let governors do their social responsibility ya kusaidia wananchi wa pale chini, ili pia watoto wetu ambao wajiwezi kupata school fees wa kusaidika katika county bursaries, tukishirikiana na pia zile bursaries ya CD.
Following consultations with the Council of Governors, Nyakango relaxed a decision allowing counties to continue issuing bursaries. The resolution coming about after a meeting between the governors, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki, and Nyakango's office during the 26th Intergovernmental Budget and Economic Council meeting in Nairobi.
As this administration, we want to plead with you to partner with the national government to deliver the next phase of our transformation.
During the meeting, it was agreed that counties with separate education funds could continue issuing bursaries to students. Counties without such funds were directed to establish them or partner with the Ministry of Education to facilitate the process. However, the High Court would later suspend the agreement that allowed the county governments to issue bursaries to institutions outside their scope. The court also restricted the Controller of Budget from implementing any agreements reached by the Council of Governors during the IBEC meeting.
Tulisimamishwa kama serikali za county kupeana bursary.
This development comes against the backdrop of lawmakers in 2024 following the nationwide Gen Z demonstrations on the 25th of June for the amalgamation and consolidation of all funds and bursaries supporting needy students. The aim was to address an apparent funding crisis in higher learning institutions and adopt a system that prioritizes the need of students over bureaucratic turf wars.
Do not have also data of how much money as a country are we spending on education. The 27% I talked about is the government allocation.
I'm sad to hear that the Ministry of Education appears to lack awareness of how much bursaries goes to government schools.
However, this proposal is yet to materialize.
The exercise is uncoordinated. That analysis has not been done to determine how much money are we really spending in education.
With multiple funding streams such as the NGCDF county bursaries and the national government allocations operating in parallel, the lack of coordination often leads to inefficiencies and gaps in supporting needy students. The question is it time for a national conversation on combining these funding mechanisms to create a unified, transparent, and efficient system that ends the perennial debate over education funding.
Leo katika mahakama ya koti huko Nakuru, jaji amesikiza kesi na amesema atapeana ruling yake mwezi wa 3 na tutangojea.
Emmanuel Kutosi, KUTV.